first time I ever saw Emily was in 7th grade.
I was 15 at our Camp Ileana retreat. I didn't actually really talk to Joel at Camp Ileana. I just noticed how cute he was, but I didn't know too much about him. So I was 15, he was 18, and so I was like, yeah, there's probably not much of a chance there.
Little did I know the vast journey that would begin.
Look outside. Painted skies, here comes the light.
When I was 16, my mom surprised our whole family with Cirque du Soleil tickets. My mom was playing a bit of a matchmaker, and she told me that she had an extra ticket for Joel. I was excited to give that to him.
She just came up to me one day after church and said, hey, I got these 2 tickets to Cirque du Soleil. Would you want to come with me? But the exact date was my dad's birthday, and I think at that point I wasn't wising up, basically, and I just said, well, that's my dad's birthday. I'll have to get back to you. You know, my dad said, no, you should go out, you know, have a good time. We can celebrate my birthday later. We went to Cirque du Soleil. It was kind of a date, I would say. So I would say she asked me out first.
Will I see playing on repeat?
I really didn't, I would say, start to get to know Emily until sophomore year of college. And I can remember her coming to church on Sundays, and I just look over there and she was intently reading the Word, and she was very extensively taking notes, and I was like, that's my kind of girl. So obviously I saw how beautiful she was. I really started to recognize how beautiful her heart was. That's really what drew me in.
I would come to church and see him drumming with the worship team and just serving, and I really admired that about him.
So I asked Emily really what she kind of was looking for in life, and she always emphasized how she wanted to help people and be an occupation where she was helping people, and she always loved the idea of being part of the ministry, which I was like, hey, I'm wanting to be a pastor. And, well, I didn't tell her this, but I was thinking inwardly that I wanted to find someone that had that type of heart, that servant's heart, and that's exactly what I found in her. I can remember calling up Jess and Brooke one day and saying, hey, I'm thinking about asking Emily out. And I think the best way would be for us to have a game night. And so they threw an entire game night just so that I could ask Emily out. And I think they're really cool for doing that, David and Jess and Brooke and Zach. So thank you guys for that.
Brooke and Jess were conveniently on a walk at that time whenever I arrived at the church. I just walked up the stairs and let myself into Brooke and Zach's apartment because I heard someone come up the stairs and knock on the door, and I opened it, and then Joel turns around and I was like, hey, you wanna go pick up pizzas with me? And I go, sure. And then I start frantically texting my friend, and I was like, hey, like, I need a pep talk, like this is a good chance to get to know him pretty well right now. So she doesn't respond, unfortunately, so I'm left hanging there. So we go, and we're just talking. He looks at me and goes, I kind of like set this up or something along those lines. I was thinking we could go out sometime. I've been waiting for this moment for a couple of years now, so I was very shocked, very excited, but I looked at him and I go, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, she just responded with a, yeah. So basically we waited a whole week. The anticipation was killing me. We decided to go to Cafe Arazu in downtown Newburgh, and it was just a beautiful night. We walked down by the river after we ate dinner, and then I took her on this sweet bridge that I grew up at. And then we came back to the church, and that's kind of the significance of this fire, is that throughout my life, and I think throughout Emily's life, we both didn't really date anyone, and we were just kind of waiting for that special person that God would call us to be with. And around this fire, this very fire pit, I said, hey, you know, I was just feeling it that night, and not only was I just feeling this emotion, but I really felt like God was telling me, hey, this is your girlfriend. And so I was like, hey, would you be my girlfriend? And she's like, yes. And she said, will you be my boyfriend? And I said, yes.
Our whole date was around like 6 hours long. Like, we spent a lot of time getting to know each other. I was talking to my friends that night because they were all curious. They were excited for me, so I came home there ready to hear about it. So I went home and I was like, so it's either gonna play out one of two ways. Either I'm gonna marry this man, or he's gonna break up with me, because I'm not messing with this. This is a good thing.
Just even a month in, I was like, man, this girl is special. I really, really admire this girl. I really, really like this girl. And I'm like, I think I even love this girl. It was probably a month later. It was around this fire. It was glowing, and she was glowing, and my heart was beating really fast. But I knew, and she was just, you know, hugging me, and I said, you know, Emily, I really love you. And she said, I love you too. The Lord started confirming things in my life and on my heart where I was like, this is my future wife. I talked with her parents and said, hey, I really love Emily and I want to marry her. And everyone was very excited and cool with that. You know, the perfect time for all of us to be there, or most of us, would be beach week. I planned on June 1st to ask her to marry me. We got all these things together, and I took her down to the beach, and her family was off to the side.
Like, he calls me his sunflower, so there's like a heart of sunflowers, and he put a little message in the bottle that poured his heart out to me.
And I got down on my right knee and asked her if she would marry me, and she said yes.
And then I think I said thank you, so.
Me and Emily both have talked so much about how this union is not about us, it's about the Lord. And if we both pursue Him, that in doing so, we'll pursue one another. And I'm just so excited to marry this wonderful girl. I told her like how beautiful her heart was, but I was like telling her like, dang, you are so beautiful. I just can't wait to marry you and live life with you. And I can't wait to see what the Lord has in store all these years ahead.
As each day passes by, my excitement and love for you grows even more, and I cannot wait to walk down the aisle to you.